Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Nova Project. I'm your host, as ever, Purple Minute 8, joined once more, as ever, forever, seemingly, by my co-host, my partner, my wife, the Obsidian Nook / Pal ASMR. Why don't you say hello?
You wanna know.
My one and only co-host when it comes to reviewing movies, apparently.
Okay, I was trying to make it. I didn't realise you were gonna insult Morgie.
Well, he's not exactly here to defend himself, is he? I can't even remember the last film he did. Anyway, we continue. Black Adam was not our last one that we did. We did another one. We did Hot Fuzz, I want to say, was the last one. I can't remember.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Probably, because we haven't finished the trilogy. Anyway, we are back. We are continuing Spooky Week for today and tomorrow. We are recording this the night before as usual, so it's a bit confusing. But today, for not Halloween, we are covering Halloween. Go on. You stopped. You wanted to say something.
So this is in honour of my best friend, my pal.
My homeboy, my red soldier, my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
My mum, Sharon, who sadly passed away 3 years ago tomorrow.
Well, to the day when this comes out, so because this will be coming out on the 30th.
And every year we would watch Halloween together, and unfortunately she saw the first one in this.
She saw this one that we're covering today, and not the two, may I add, fucking terrible sequels.
I think me, you were wrong.
I didn't watch Kills with you though, did I?
I'm sure you...
We might have done, I can't remember. But Kills is the only one of the new trilogy we haven't covered.
But yeah, so this is mainly my mum sadly passed away.
Who selfishly fucking died.
She had a weird sense of humour, she'd find it funny. You left me, abandoned me on this earth, left 3 beautiful fur babies.
4 at the time.
Yeah, for me to look after and didn't leave any funds for them. Thanks for that, Mum.
Yeah, thanks for that £2,000 debt that we're still paying off to this day.
Not haunting me. Thanks for taking Silver when I said you couldn't have any of the kids back yet.
Kids are what we call the cats, in case we haven't mentioned.
Heaven, because you were in a wheelchair, Mum, so I don't know if you're stuck at the bottom.
Well, there's a stairway to heaven for a reason, and unfortunately they'd never said there is a stair lift to heaven. I have no idea, it's up to you. I don't know if you want me to. It'd be a bit weird. I don't need to keep saying that every time I go on the channel. There's a picture of your mum.
Yeah, but anyway, this one's for you, Mum. I hope you're proud.
Yeah.
Of us, how well we've coped, for fighting my battles, and I hope you're cheering me on from heaven or hell, wherever you may be.
Carmen, yeah, I mean, you got to cover all the bases, guys. You got to cover it all.
Touching a Ouija board by you, Mum, so I will not be contacting you that way. But, you know, you somehow. I don't think you'll ever find this, but if you find this, you're welcome to.
If you get service in heaven, please let us know. Leave a comment down below, Sharon. Tell us what you think.
Please leave my sister alone and come and hold the
I want the child that cares. Sorry, this is getting very real. Anyway, let's move on. Leaving it in the long and short of it. This is in memory of your mum, a big fan of Halloween. We are.
She was
I didn't know her very long, by the way. I thought I would.
But she had a dark, funny sense where you got a bit of it from.
I didn't. This has always been my humour. Anyway, so
Dark.
we are continuing the Halloween series. Famous.
I forgot to mention that the third.
Oh yeah, the cat's here.
Refusing to take part, but he's going very bobery.
And also didn't watch the film, so thanks for that, Stasi.
Treats. Shout out to you, Stasi, for being a pig, for robbing me of £70 every week. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
As you can tell, I'm very depressed.
Anyway, so we are continuing the trend of not actually going chronologically with our Halloween films. Good God, please don't look at the pattern of when these fuckers went up. Because we're like, I think we did Ends first, then we did the... Well, first up...
This one came out in the cinema, and it was literally like...
We reviewed it for a laugh.
2 years after Mum had passed? No, it wasn't last year.
We didn't do Kills, we did Ends, which
was
was...
the final one, wasn't it, where they were like...
And then make it Corey instead, like a character that's just in that...
I don't want to ruin it.
Basically, go watch our review of that, by the way, plug by plug. But anyway, that film was bad. You've probably all heard of... That was Halloween Kills. Halloween... Evil did not die tonight, hence why they made a third film. But we are covering Halloween for the third time, the third film in the series that's called Halloween. You got Halloween the original, you got the Rob Zombie remake, and you got this one.
If we keep this as a tradition every single year on my mother's anniversary,
We're not doing that.
It's a tradition.
We've covered but we've covered the best ones now. We're gonna get to the weird, like, supernatural sequels.
It's a tradition.
We can watch it every year, but my God, do you really? Well, we could be doing that in the next like 7 years.
We'll see you next year, guys.
Yeah.
Depressing tribute.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll probably be like, Starsey's not here. That was dying. No, I'm joking. He's got years left. Starsey, have you got years left?
He lives off of Dreamies. If the drawer is there full of Dreamies, he will be there for it. But anyway, we'll get on with the actual film now. We've gone off on a tangent for long enough, I think. So yeah, as mentioned, this is our third movie called Halloween that we've covered, other than the remake by Rob Zombie and the original, which is totally not confusing. I don't know what the hell I'm going to call this, because is it a reboot? A remake? It's not a remake. It's either a reboot or a sequel, because technically a reboot... I could just see Starsey's paw, sorry to interrupt. Gone blank. Yeah, it's a reboot and a sequel, but it also like retcons every film after the original completely, which is good, because my God, if they kept all the cult stuff, that would be going a bit far. But yeah, I'll call it, like, I'll put in it'll probably be reboot / sequel, that sort of thing, but yeah, considering all of the messy sequels, this one is actually quite good.
We do have some, like, I'm not going to call it gore, because I don't...
There is gore in this film.
Yeah, but I don't...
This is a gory Halloween.
Bearing in mind, we've watched a lot of much the other films we've done.
There is some serious gore in it, but we have seen some shit on this channel.
Obviously, if you're new, if you're here for the channel, you know that I don't really do horror /
You do horror, just not gory horror.
Exactly. When I say mild gore, if you're a person who struggles with horror, doesn't like bloody scenes and that kind of thing, I think you could cope with this one.
Halloween has always kind of been the lesser of on the gory side of horror films.
You can laugh at it, because we were laughing at the way Michael moved, so you can find some funny bits.
Once you notice that Michael can't look around without moving the entire top of his body...
He sits up like the Undertaker.
Yeah, he's done that forever though. He's always sat up without, like, using his hands to push himself up.
And there's that many jump scenes, so, like, if you're a person who don't like the jump scenes, this is definitely okay for you.
Or if you've seen enough horror movies that you can easily predict when the scares are going to come.
I have my limit.
I'm a big fan of gore, unless it's like... I'm not a big fan of gore. I like my zombies. Saw is a bit too far. And Hostel especially, that's pretty fucked. We probably won't cover them. Unless one day I'm brave enough. That was weird. That just said you got a message from yourself.
Yeah, that does that a lot.
Anyway. But, yeah... We'll continue on with Michael, who is an absolute fucking tank.
Who, for some reason, gets his fingers blown off, gets stabbed multiple times,
shot,
and he doesn't react. Like, he doesn't show any pain. He doesn't, like, react, and it's like, how the fuck is he still standing? Because, like,
Well,
If my fingers are missing, I'd be worried about like.
You wait till Halloween Kills with the mob scene where they all just go ham on him and he survives it. But that was the point of the original film sequels, is that it goes into like him being a supernatural like being, which they kind of hint towards in this, and then that just doesn't go that way by the end of ends.
I don't really understand this. It's not really possible.
Well, they call him evil. They literally think he's the embodiment of like evil. And the cult sequels of the originals go into that a bit more, which we'll get to at some point. You know, it was either this or Season of the Witch, and that film is batshit. But Michael in this film is an absolute unit. He's shot. I mean, he's what, 60-ish now? 40 years after the original, and he must have been in his 20s. He's either 60, 70, but he's still like overpowering like men in their prime. And there's some good kills in this as well, may I just add. We'll get to that. But Michael is just an absolute machine as ever. But he is brutalised in return. He's missing his fingers. You can, in some of the close-ups, you can see that his eye is still hurt from where Laurie stuck a fucking coat hanger in it in the original. He loses his fingers. He's shot multiple times, like I said. He just doesn't fucking stay down. And he's in a fire by the end of it, which he survives somehow by the sequel.
That bothers me still, and even though the first time, we've seen this multiple times by the way, but that last scene gets me every single time, because it's like, you said he hides behind the shutter.
He does. We find this out in Halloween Kills. Which, may I add, the fake out ending of him being dead in the basement was pointless, because long before this film was even like being made, they confirmed that they were doing a whole new trilogy, and to have that was like, well, why?
Just point that even if he put the shutter down,
Jesus Christ, you keep going down the mic.
Sorry, and that kept him away from the fire, but the fire is still going to warm the shutter up to a point where it's going to be...
I don't think it was enough.
What?
Realistically, we should probably do Halloween Kills later in the week to sort of do the other half of this. But because it's all in the same night, and literally the next film begins where this one ended with a fire department going past, I don't think it could get enough where it could cook him alive. Because they literally scream at him, let him burn and all that, and that does not work out. And they end up the firefighters inadvertently save him, which just... They have some good fucking deaths there, but that's not the point. We'll cover them when we get there. But yeah, the ending always bothered me, because it was like, it's a fake out where, like I said, they said they were doing 3 films. They said it was doing that fake ending at the end. It's just like, well, if you heard it, you knew that it was pointless. But also, Michael Myers ain't gonna die in a fire.
I just hope that they...
Well, technically he did in the 4th, I want to... Sorry, go on. No, the end of 2.
No, I was going to say, I just hope that they generally don't, like, another knockoff or another reboot or anything like that, because I...
They will, it makes too much money.
Generally, it just needs to, like, stop, along with, like... How many did you say of Friday the 13th?
13th is at about 11, possibly more.
So they just need to kind of, like...
12, because it's Freddy vs. Jason. Can you stop blowing down the mic like that? I can hear it. They need to stop. Oh yeah, Screamer's getting a bit much. There's like 6 of them though.
But also Final Destination, because there's so many of them, and they're doing another one, and we're gonna have to go and fucking watch it.
Oh yeah.
We've got the other one on DVD, and we're gonna have to review it anyway, because I'm curious about it.
Yeah, spoilers for the future. We do have the Final Destination films.
Just another thing, this is not related to Halloween at all, but whose fucking great idea was it on Facebook to do a poster of Final Destination with helicopters and a massive tower block? One thing, you fucking plonkers, because of a Grenfell.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Who did you fucking like Grenfell?
Yeah, it's just AI fucking bullshit. It's like I saw earlier some
I'm
like
so
AI.
Sorry, just say something like but nobody else in the comments was like, this was not a good idea. And I was just like, one word, Grenfell. Like, a massive tower block on fire was in a poster, and I was just like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna go into depths. You can look up Grenfell and the nightmare that followed that. It's a depressing story.
Everybody knows if you're in Britain exactly what Grenfell and the tragedy that happened.
Google is a wonderful thing. If you want to just get sad, you can look that up. But we're trying to talk about Halloween. Let's go back to the actual film. What I pointed out to you is there is a wonderful one-take shot in the film where the camera follows Michael as he goes around the town and just kills a few people. Really good, really well executed. You said, how do they do that? And I said, it's just one very choreographed scene.
Like, what I meant by that is they're like a cameraman sitting.
No, there is a... No. Because if it was the... It would be like a full camera crew following him around. If it was the wheels, you'd be able to see him on the ground. But it is genuinely like the... Sorry, I just banged my headset. It literally just follows them around. There is one film out there which I hope we can find one day. I don't want to spoil it. That's all done in one shot for the most part. So people will know. It's a hint for you. But yeah. Even though it's a bit iffy, like when he kills one of them, the blade is clearly CGI and a blood splatter CGI. That is mainly just... I mean, I'm fine with that, even if it's a bit messy, because it was a good shot of him going around. And there's the music as well, bringing back John Carpenter and his family to do, like, the score. Really made the difference, like the remake of the classic theme that everyone knows. And there's that guitar sting I told you about. In the garden with the motion lights is done by running the bow of a violin over an electric guitar. Oh... Yeah, if I can find you it, if I can find it, I'll show you the clip afterwards. I would put it in the video, but A, it's too much fucking effort,
Right.
And probably copyright. But you can look it up. I think it's John Carpenter's nephew. I think that does it. Beautiful score, but kills in it really good as well. For the most part, even though it's Michael Myers who mainly stabs people in his films, bit like Scream. He uses a hammer, he fucking uses his bare hands, he fucking, like...
When he beated up the bloke in the garage, he then took some weird, like, tool that he then used. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if
garage.
It's a bar. You know when he killed the reporters?
Oh, he bought... Yeah.
He had a metal...
He bought a crowbar and, yeah. But Michael didn't use it to kill them, he still beat the shit out of them. He beat the man to death and then strangled the woman.
Because you pointed it out in the background, didn't you?
Yeah, because the scene where the podcasters, my true crime fucking people, who somehow got hold of a piece of police evidence for their shitty little podcast, which is basically what our show is. Because let's be real, this is a borderline podcast.
We don't go around.
No, I don't remember if they said how it happened, but how they got hold of it. But these fucking true crime podcasters managed to get hold of the actual Michael Myers mask and were somehow allowed to take it into the psychiatric ward where he's being held and show it to him. Oh man, that was... I don't know how that happened, but that bothered me.
The police report for Judith's, autopsy.
Yeah, they managed to get hold of a lot of critical police information related to the case. Considering, I mean, I know it's 40 years, but I don't know if, images like that can become public knowledge in that time. If they... how, the government, after, doing some super secret shit that they always do that I will not cover because I will just get angry. When they declassify documents related to, military operations years and years ago, because by that point everyone's dead who was part of it, so no one can take any responsibility. That was a mini side tangent. I won't go into any more details. I don't know if they can do that. I don't know if that happens with the police, but that wouldn't surprise me. But also, even if not, how the fuckity fuck did they get a hold of all that?
For example, Rose's mother autopsy photos got released along with.
Sorry, been talking too much.
Most of you will know her for her charms and her looks. Jodie bloody heiress brutally killed her partner Mariad, and his autopsy photos got leaked somehow.
Lovely. I will just say, let's leave it there before this gets too dark and depressing. We're just making jokes about a silly little Halloween film. Let's not get into real life cases. Otherwise, we are just going to become true crime podcasters.
Doesn't happen.
This has happened, yes. I know the images get leaked, but they look like they actually had the records, like straight from the morgue or whatever.
Reports get leaked because it was like I'm sure Marilyn Monroe's out there in Mogadam and Kobe.
Possibly. Fucking hell, that was very recent. But anyway, we're not talking about real people who have died. But it doesn't make a lot of sense, is what I'm trying to say, that they haven't. The reports I can kind of understand if they do it like what I said, where they like declassify it. But them getting a hold of the real mask from the murders? No, I don't think so. That is a piece of evidence.
That should be locked up.
Yes, it should be locked up and kept an eye on. But yeah, other than that, it's mostly okay, but there's the retconning of Hawkins's death, which is famous for this series these 3 films. Hawkins in this film, he's stabbed in the neck repeatedly, then run over by a car. He survives into the second and the third film with little, damage to it. He got run over. He should be limping at the least, but he doesn't really.
There was also the lady.
I think her name is Sonia.
The very last film. And
if you've seen Kills, I don't think she does talk. I don't think she talks in the third one. Her sister's with her, I think. But she gets, like Michael in the second film, he smashes a UV, fluorescent light bulb and stabs her in the neck. She bleeds like fuck, and she's an old lady. She should be dead. But no. The retconning is insane and doesn't make sense. Like Dead Meat as well, who is someone we mentioned a few times on the channel because I'm a big fan and I watch them all the time. Like, even they were like, why am I... Even James was like, why am I counting these fucking kills? Like, if they're just gonna change their minds. It's dumb. It's like, does Michael kill people? Does he bother? Like, it's just... How can you trust someone's dead? Like... Unless it's Sartain, whose head gets fucking splattered against the ground. But that's different. I don't think he's getting up from that. But yeah, as we mentioned before, the gore is there. There are some moments of heavy gore. Particularly some great work from, I think his name is Christopher Nelson. The FX guy who does all the makeup, the gore. He designed the mask. They still had a mask that was similar, but he did all the grime and age. Who also plays a cop in this film, by the way. Good little cameo. He does a great job with that. And the gore is there. The kills are still good. Continues the tradition, which, if you've seen the other Halloween films, I fucking hate the knife trickery. Where they manage to pin a corpse to the wall using a kitchen knife. How does it go through a body, into the wall enough to support the weight of a person? How long is the blade, and how strong is it? Bothers me every time, but they do that again. There's some off-screen kills as well. Some of them are fine, some of them aren't. Like, the 2 cops near the end of the film, they're good because their bodies are shown, and one of them, funnily enough, as I mentioned, is played by Christopher Nelson. has his head hollowed out and turned into a jack-o'-lantern, which is beautiful. I bet he had fun doing that with his own, like, moulded head. But, like, is it Vicky, the babysitter? She dies off screen, essentially. And then she's just found, like, bloodied and with a sheet over her. Which I guess is a reference to, I think his name's Bob from the original. But yeah, the kills are good. I mean, Oscar is good, where he gets stabbed and then impaled through the mouth on a fence spike. As mentioned, Sartain getting splattered. Yeah, it's good. It's better than some of the later sequels of Halloween, including this film's own sequels. It's refreshing. It was good to see Laurie Strode back, played by the wonderful Jamie Lee Curtis. I think the cast in this film is spectacular. I think everyone does a good job except for Judy Greer in that restaurant scene where she gives this really, like dialogue reading. But other than that, everyone is likable. Like, especially Ray, which is Karen's husband, who spills peanut butter on his penis. But I think everyone does a really good job, including the side characters, like Julian, the little boy that's getting babysitted. His lines, I think, are mostly like ad-libs, like improvised, which makes sense. But everyone has good chemistry with one another. It's a good film. It has its moments where it's like, what? Where it's like, how does this make sense? But yeah, and the ending being like a fake out is no surprise when at the time they were like, yeah, we're making 3 films. They're like, we're gonna kill Michael at the start. Yeah. But then they burn it and it's like, oh, how is he gonna survive? Yeah. Doesn't entirely make sense all the way, but sometimes you just gotta switch your brain off. Isn't that right, Stasi? You're waiting for your treats. But yeah, other than that, I think we'll wrap it up there, really, unless you've got anything else you want to add. No, you think we covered everything?
Yeah.
Any extra thoughts you want to add? Anything that, annoys you? The thing that annoys me, actually, now that I remember, is the fact that her boyfriend survives this film. Doesn't survive the series, but he survives this film, despite being an absolute prick. But yeah, nothing you want to add? No? So, we'll go to our best kill, worst kill. Best kill is easily Sartain. Such a bloody, gory head splat. And the joke that Dead Meat also made of him going, say something! And Michael should have went something and had stomped. It would have been such a, 80s action film, one-liner. But, yeah, he gets best kill, mainly because he's a prick. And he's New Loomis, as Laurie calls him. The worst kill could probably go to the prison, the prison bus guards, I want to call them. Mainly because it's all off screen, and who knows how Michael... He's all... the guard on the floor that little kid that sounds like he smokes 50 packets of cigarettes a day finds. He's bloody, but how? You know? It's like Michael's on a bus. He tells the kid to run, and then he's just dead. Who knows how or why. But yeah. Best kill Sartain, worst kill to the prison bus officers. And that's about it. Nice and easy. Thankfully, because we've seen all 3 films, we can say, well, that could have been best kill, but because they survive. So yeah, that about does it. I've been your host, as ever, Perfect Midnight 8. Thank you ever so much for listening. I've been joined by Stasi the cat, who has been sitting there in a strop since we started, basically. And my other co-host, who is always here because the other person on the channel is never. My wife, the Obsidian Nook / Patel ASMR. Yep, sure. That's on Instagram, Brisket for a Biscuit, if you want to follow our cats. I should put that in the description. You just play him with his paws. Anyway, I think the cat wants attention. So yeah, you can find her links in the description alongside all of ours. And we will see you tomorrow for our final spooky season film, which I am excited for, because I love it. But yeah, we'll see you then.